Today, I want to welcome all of you to the PES info session. Today, we are very eager with a large part of our team here today to tell you a little bit more about the Program for Excellence in Selling, what it can offer to you, and tell you, really answer any questions that you guys may have. So this is not going to be like a typical joining a webinar kind of session. I want you guys blowing up the chat. I want you guys to hang and chat, unmute yourselves, ask questions. If you're feeling up to it and feeling like, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that, then I'd love to have your cameras on so I can get to know your beautiful faces. And we're gonna go ahead and dive right in. So as some of you may see by my name listed right here on Zoom, my name is Yara Suki, and I am the Director of the Program for Excellence in Selling. And today you are here for our first PES info session of the semester, where we are going to give you a chance to meet some of the people on our team. We also want to get to know you guys a little bit too, just because you're on Zoom. We want to still break through this digital barrier. And then we're going to tell you a little bit about our institute, the curriculum that PES has to offer, and some of the really awesome perks that come with being a member of the PES family. So we are going to kick off with team introductions, and we're going to start with getting to know our faculty. So with us on the call today, we've got Professors Randy Webb, Carl Herman, and Craig McAndrews. So Professor Webb, do you want to take us away and introduce yourself to the students?
Sure. Well, welcome everybody. As she said, my name is Randy Webb. I am a professor that teaches in the second semester of the PES program. I teach sales management, and I co-teach in our key account selling class. So I'm also the executive director of the Sales Excellence Institute, which we'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute.
And I'm Carl Herman. Great to meet you all. Welcome to PES Info Session. I hope I see many of you in class next semester, because I teach all of the first semester students in a class called CRM. A little bit about me. I've been with the sales program for 20 years, full-time for 15 years, but before that, I sold tech for about 30 years with some companies that you probably know about. So my background is sales, not academics, and I love the profession. So in addition to CRM, I teach some executive education classes. I'm actually the director of executive education for some of our corporate sponsors. And I teach a few of the MBA classes too. I also teach digital selling for the second semester students. So that's a little bit about me. I do want to talk about how PES can help students. So the faculty and the staff of PES, and you're going to meet most of them, get up every day so that our students can find their dream job. That's what we're about. Whether that's a sales job or not, we hope many of you would go into sales, but whether it's a sales job, we want to help you find your dream job, okay? No matter how old you are, even if you're 1 or 2. So anyway, it's good to meet you. Hope I see many of you next semester.
I guess I was supposed to talk about how can PES help students. So Carl reminded me when he said that at the end. Carl's absolutely right in terms of helping you find your dream job, but we also teach you some other things as well. We teach you communication skills, presentation skills, but the thing that we hear the most from students at the end of the program that they've learned is they've been able to build their confidence. They're more confident when they walk out of our PES program because they've learned how to sell, they've learned how to talk to people and communicate, make presentations, how to carry themselves. They learn what their personal brand is. And so they walk out the door really with a lot of confidence. So Craig, I think it's you, man.
It is. Yep. So, hi, I'm Professor Craig McAndrews. So, hopefully, I would like to always say in these things, hey, I see some familiar faces from my 3337 class, except I don't actually get to see your faces in 3337 in this whole virtual world. So, if you have seen me on video and have participated in the class, it is great to have you here. So, I've been actually teaching now at the program at the Institute for 3 years. I'm going on my 4th year, so I describe it as I'm almost a senior. I'm not sure exactly what happens when I finish my 4th year, but I'll just keep going. But I do get a chance to teach first semester students in our advanced professional selling class, which is, we take spin from 3337 and we amplify it dramatically in our APS class. And then I teach our second semester students in digital selling along with Professor Herman. And then I also teach a specialty class, which is in the fall, which is called Sales for Social Impact, which is a class that basically takes what we learn in our sales and marketing classes and applies it to a nonprofit organization in like a consultative way for an entire semester. So it's a fun class where we get to bring some of the things we've learned to life. So glad to have you guys here, and like both Carl and Randy, hope to see your faces next semester.
Craig, it looks like, although you haven't had the pleasure of meeting them, a lot of them recognize your lovely face. The chat have quite a number of your students in there.
Not only do they have some of my students, but I recognized a face from somebody that I've known since he was in the 4th grade. So interesting group we have on the call today.
Small world. Okay, so now we are going to introduce you to our staff. I'm going to kick off this little segment here. So as I've mentioned before, my name is Yara Suki. I actually graduated from Bauer back in 2015 with a double major in marketing and management and a minor in sales from, you guessed it, from PES. And I went to go work for one of our corporate partners, mattress firm, for a couple of years before returning here full time in 2017 to literally come and help students like you get into PES, put your best foot forward, learn and grow. And I have made the comment a couple times, but I only planned to be here for 1 year. And now almost 4 years later, I can't see myself doing anything else. I really do love my job, being able to get to know students like yourselves and kind of help you throughout that journey. My story to join PES is perhaps a kind of unusual one. I just knew I needed to graduate being well-rounded, right? Has anyone heard that from their parents or from friends or mentors? Oh, you need to be well-rounded. I'm like, okay, got it. But no one tells you how to do it. Well, I knew I needed to join something before graduating, and I kept trying to figure that out, but I was too scared to dip my toes in the water. And then I finally met someone who was in PES, and he kept saying, he's like, no, I think you would be really good. He was my buyer in my 3337 role play. So for those of you who remember your Terrys, he was my Terry, and he kept following up with me, and I decided to apply. And haven't looked back since. And my favorite memory in PES was actually a memory after PES. I got married a couple years after I graduated, and some of the professors that are here on this call and some of the others that teach in PES were actually at my wedding. So that's how special and important this program was to me. Perfect. So James, you want to take us away next?
Sure thing. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome here. My name is James Clancy. I am an assistant program manager in the PES program for the CRM class. And my major is marketing, minoring in sales, going to be graduating this semester. So fingers crossed that still stays the same and everything goes well. I joined PES also kind of like what Yara was mentioning, that I didn't really know. I was in the business school, but didn't really have a sort of path, a direction. And I knew some people in PES, but didn't really think much of it. And then one day when I was at the Bauer Career Fair, a amazing person named Joy Yang, she walked literally right out in front of me and was like, "Hey, you look like you could do sales, or like you could join PES. And I was like, what? Like, whoever says that, And then sure enough, maybe a couple semesters later, I found myself applying, got in, and have never looked back. And it's really is such a great family here in PES, and that's just stuck with me so much. And that kind of goes with my favorite memory in PES, which is just the times I had with my key account team, which you guys will learn about the key account class a little bit. But I still talk with them every day. Got messages from them today, and so every moment I got to share with them was my favorite memory in PES, and I'm just creating more every day. So yeah. Nalani, would you like to go?
I would love to go. Thank you. My name is Nalani. I am the Marketing and Communications Program Manager for the Program for Excellence in Selling. I majored in marketing and I graduated from Bauer last year. Woohoo! A COVID graduation, but really excited to have graduated and now to be on staff full time. I, like everybody else on staff, also went through the program. I joined because I was in Amy's class. So if y'all had Amy, put it in the chat there. She's not here, but she always spoke really highly about PES, and she was amazing. And so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Everybody seemed really confident when they came in. I was like painfully shy, could not say hello to anybody. And PES kind of changed my life because now I had the opportunity to be a TA. I spoke in front of classes of 250 students. I actually TA'd for that class, Marketing 3337. And then my favorite memory from PES, that is like such a hard question to ask somebody. But I think one of my favorite memories in PES would be when my key account team won top team, because it was just so gratifying, like all the work we had put in. A lot of like long nights and stressful time, and just having that moment with them and like how close we've become. I met one of my best friends in PES, actually a few of my best friends in PES. So it's a really great experience. Ev, you want to take it?
Yeah, absolutely. So hi, everybody. My name is Evelyn Hidalgo. I am the Institute Manager for the program. I joined PES in spring of 2018, graduated from the university in May of 2019. So I've been in my role for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years and 2 months. I majored in marketing and minored in sales. So now I've been in my role for 2 years, doing the very same thing that I joined for. So I joined, I don't know about y'all, but I needed a job after I graduated. So I saw that 98% job placement rate, and I was like, yes, I'm going to join because I need a job. So now in my role, I help get you a job. So we'll talk about all of that later on in the info session. But that was the reason that I joined PES. I wanted to get those opportunities. I knew that there were tons of great companies that were partnering with the program and getting in front of those students. And so I wanted to be a part of that and get those same opportunities as everybody else. And my favorite memory in PES will absolutely have to be my key account trip. So the key account class, which as everyone has mentioned, we'll talk about later today, was a very, very hard class, very selective. We only admit up to 20 students. So we took a trip at the end of the semester, and it was maybe just a couple of weeks before graduation. It was just so gratifying to be there with my team and say, hey, we're almost on the other side. But those people, when we started the class, were all complete strangers, and towards the end, they were more than just friends, they were family. So that is absolutely hands down my favorite memory. Lemise, do you want to take us over?
I sure can. So hi, everyone. My name is Lemise Taha. I am the Program Manager of Executive Education. It's my first semester in this role, so very new to the staff. But I graduated PES just about a year ago. I majored in marketing and I had a minor in public relations. And mainly the reason that I joined PES was because I felt like I just wasn't as involved as I would have liked to be on campus. Everyone feels, or it seemed like everyone had their own organizations and things that they were a part of, and I just definitely was not part of anything. So the second I heard about it, I kind of applied on a whim and I got in, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's starting now. But I'm so glad that I did, and I would not take it back for anything. And my favorite memory in PES as well was also on my key account trip. When my team went up to Seattle, we had just finished meeting all of these really big companies like Microsoft and Ecolab and all those people. So at the very end, one of my teammates still had not hit quota for actually another class. And we stayed up the entire night just calling and calling and calling as an entire team, trying to get this one person to quota. And eventually we did it literally like 2 minutes before the deadline. And it seemed like a miracle. We were just like, we got to go celebrate at this point, but it was 12 a.m. So we didn't do that. But the next day we definitely celebrated. But yeah, I've definitely met, just like several people said, some of my best friends from the program. So I wouldn't change it for anything. Ricky, do you want to go next?
Yes, I'll go ahead and take over. Hello, everybody. My name is Ricky Lara. I'm a marketing major that graduated PES this past December, and I'll be graduating from the university this upcoming December. Why I joined PES, much like James, I found myself to be wandering through Bauer, not really knowing what my niche was. And I had some friends who were in the semesters above me in PES, and they gave me, great advice and some perspective as to what the program had to offer. So I applied and decided, hey, like, I'm not really looking into a career in sales. At bare minimum, I'll just learn how to be a better student, better presenter, learn how to have actual, business conversations and be more comfortable with professionals. But now, a year later, here I am really looking forward to starting off my career in sales and being able to follow the opportunities that were provided to me through the program. My favorite memory in PES, I think, has to be exactly a year ago. It was my first semester, and if any of y'all remember what happened last spring, the world kind of shut down. Not too big of a deal, but spring break turned into probably never seeing campus for the rest of the semester, and we had to sell our golf tournament. So having that experience cut short and coming back home, being virtual, was a big hit on a lot of our motivation. And so we still had a quota to reach, and we were able to pivot our golf tournament to sell for the following semester. And I remember like sitting on my bed, I think 10 minutes before 11:59, and I had finally closed my last golf player that I had to get. And I was so excited. I really wanted to celebrate. And I remember just getting in my car at 11:59, and I just drove down like my neighborhood, just screaming to like my favorite Drake songs and all that, because I had never felt so happy just trying to pass a class. So yeah, that probably has to be my favorite memory. Shreya, do you want to go ahead and cap us off?
Yes. So hi, everyone. My name is Shreya. Some of you may know me from Marketing 3337. I am a TA for that class, but I'm a marketing major with a management minor and a certificate in sales, obviously through PES. And I graduate this May. I joined PES because I felt like I had a lot to contribute, but I just didn't know how, and I felt like I had it in me to do big things, but I just didn't know how to prove it to myself and to my classmates. So PES gave me the skills to speak up, be confident, and many opportunities to show out. More importantly, I think that I got to dig deep and learn a lot about myself so I could brand myself and sell myself to opportunities I really cared about, like internships and jobs. So yeah, my favorite memory is probably messing with James Clancy, literally from second semester up until now. It's been fun making friends and being a part of a family. So Clancy and I were just both part of the student executive board, and it was fun giving each other a hard time and pulling each other's legs while hosting events. So.
All right, thank you. So that is our staff team. And we are now going to move on to talk a little bit about our institute and kind of the history of PES. So Professor Webb, why don't you take us away?
Okay, I'm going to give you the short version of our institute. We really are made up of 3 different pillars. The first is research, and we actually have the most academic research of any university in the world in terms of academic publications. Mike Ahern, who is one of our PhDs, with this past year was ranked number 4 in the world for marketing, all of marketing academic research, and number 1 in the world for sales and sales management research. We also have a new faculty member, a tenured faculty member, Johannes, who is also well known for research. He just had a major journal article just published, and so we're excited to have both of them. The second pillar is executive education, and we do quite a bit of exec ed, where we do custom programs for companies and organizations. We've done custom exec ed for people like HISD, all the way to oil and gas companies like Citgo, to other industrial companies like Ecolab and 3M, and all kinds of companies. We also do what we call open enrollment programs, continuing education programs, where anybody can sign up for those. We primarily do those for sales leadership, and that's actually our wheelhouse, and what we're really well known for is sales leadership training, sales management training. Then the third pillar, which you guys are interested in, are our degree programs. We're the only university in the country that has a PhD program in sales, a MBA in sales, a undergraduate which is our PES program that you're thinking about applying to. And in January, we're going to start a brand new master's program in sales leadership that about 95% of it's going to be online. So we're looking forward to starting that program. And we think that's going to be great for the Institute and great for the college and the university. So that's a quick overview of the Sales Excellence Institute.
All right, so what is it that make PES students so special and awesome and part of the #1 sales program in the nation? Well, we always like to say that we can do our best to teach you everything we can about sales, but what we can't teach you is how to be motivated. And that's one of the biggest key differentiators from our students. They're also extremely hardworking, as Ricky kind of displayed to you a little bit earlier. Even when a pandemic hit, they didn't stop selling. In fact, they actually all went on to hit quota that semester. Our students are also extremely coachable. I'm sure a handful of y'all just finished doing spin role plays with all of us and had to watch your videos and learn from them so that the next time y'all do the second part of this project, y'all can get better. We do the same kind of thing in PES, only you're role playing with one of us and we're giving you feedback. So it's important to be coachable and moldable so you're continuously growing and developing. And the last thing is we want to see like what you're passionate about. We want you to bring all of that passion to the table and be passionate about PES and going out there and pursuing all of your goals and your dreams and just really being a part of the team. And hopefully we get to welcome a lot of you onto the team after that. But that's a little bit about like what makes our students so special and unique.
All right, so I said that I want to get to know you guys, and I know that all of our team, we just introduced ourselves, so now I want to get to know you guys a little bit. So either drop in the chat, or if you're up to it, turn on your camera, unmute yourselves, and tell us what is your major. Okay, so we've got accounting, communications, marketing, supply chain, I think. I feel yeah. Until you graduate, you're not certain what you're graduating with, right? Strategic communications, biology, interesting. Caitlin, how'd you find us with a biology major?
I'm a marketing minor, so I'm in Amy's class, Vanderbeek.
Okay, yeah, great. Very nice to have you all. Great. Okay, so How about why are you interested in PES? Something, it might be the 98% job placement, our corporate partners, something brought you here today. So out of curiosity, what drew you in? Job placement, absolutely. I like to make this joke. Some people laugh, some people don't. If you care at all about my feelings, you can laugh. But we don't just come and spend all this money to go to college to not get a job. Am I right? Am I right? I want a job, right? Evelyn even said it. That's why she came here, to get a job. Perfect. Direction in Bauer, as well as a future career, connections and reputability, professional skills. We totally got you covered on all of those things. Perfect. Number one ranking. We are pretty proud of how robust our program is, how mature it is, how we've been able to help our students, and scholarships. I don't see scholarships in here, but that's definitely a big element. Love bragging rights. Thank you, Diego. Absolutely. I mean, is that not what we are all doing here today? Bragging rights on PES? Perfect. Okay, so our next question. What do you want to do after graduation? Anyone want to unmute themselves maybe and tell us what they are wanting to do when they graduate, or any industry they're interested in going to? Got medical sales. Emily's the only one who knows where she wants to go. Is that what I'm learning here?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm really interested in starting my own business after school. So that's why I'm really interested in sales, because I know it's really important. And people keep telling me sales and accounting. So I want to go into sales.
Yeah, well, so you guys mentioned all your different majors. Regardless of what your core major is, you're going to need to know how to sell yourself, right? If you're starting a business, you need to sell to get investors who are going to actually give you the startup funds. If you want to go work in, I saw someone said automotive, if you want to get that job, you have to be able to sell yourself, put your best foot forward. So sales is a lot more than just the sales profession, but the profession itself is pretty sweet. Okay, so it looks like we've got law school, a few others wanting to start their own business. Definitely. Okay, medical sales. So Emily and Stephen looks like their interest is in the same place. Great. Okay, so now we're going to tell you how all of those things connect. So we know your majors, your interest in PES. So now let's talk about the curriculum. A lot of times people will compare PES to a student org. And in some ways, that's not too far off, right? There's a lot of socials and networking opportunities, and there are corporate partners that we get to work with. So ABSA, for example, HBSA, like they have a lot of those elements. One thing that we do differently is that we're actually a minor program that you can get here at Bauer. And what that means is you have to take some classes. So I know we have a couple Bauer and a couple non-Bauer students. So I kind of want to, at a high level, talk through what that looks like as far as your degree plan. So I'm going to start with my Bauer folks, okay? So if you're in Bauer, listen up, and then any other questions you have on this, drop them in the chat. We'll make sure to answer as we go along. But as a Bauer student, you are required to take Marketing 3336, which is the Intro to Marketing class you'll see in the bottom right corner, and Marketing 3337, which is the prerequisite class to be able to apply or get into the program. You do have to get a B- or above in that class to qualify for entry into PES. Once you do, then over 2 consecutive semesters, you will take the 5 required PES classes, which are Advanced Professional Selling, Customer Relationship Management, and Personal Branding in semester 1, and then Sales Management and Digital Sales in semester 2. And then we have a couple optional electives for you. Now, for your degree plan, you'll notice that you need to have a certain number of marketing electives or business electives or general electives. These are all 4,000 level marketing classes. So you can pursue a minor or a certificate by one of 2 ways. So you can get a minor by taking all of these classes and separately taking electives to complete your major, or you can complete a certificate, which means that you want these electives to just count towards your degree. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? It's a little tricky, a little nuanced. The dollar signs, we're going to go into that in a second, Jenny. That's not how much the class costs. There's no additional cost to any PES student above just regular tuition. But really, that's up to you to talk with your advisor to figure out, do you want to get a certificate or a minor? Now, when it comes to being in PES, the experience is 100% the same. It's just a matter of, you can't have these classes count twice. So it can either count to complete your major degree classes, or it can count as an additional electives to complete your minor. Okay, everyone groovy on that? Any questions on it? Okay, so for now, my non-Bauer folks, none of these classes are required for you. You decided to make your way over here because you're curious about job placement, or you were here for another minor, whatever that might be. So you do have to take Marketing 3337 as the prerequisite class, and you guys can see that class is up here. Same thing, you do have to get a B- or above. Your only option really is to take this class first and then apply to PES, and at that point you'll take the same PES classes. However, to complete the minor, you do also have to complete the Intro to Marketing, Marketing 3336. Okay, so it's a little different because for you, you have to declare the minor to be eligible to take this class, because it's otherwise only for Bauer majors. Okay, so that's an important distinction I want to make for you. If you don't complete as a non-Bauer student Marketing 3336, you are only getting a certificate in sales. Okay, so I see a couple questions. So for the minor, do we have to take 3336 before we finish the program? So great question, Megan. You can take that class anytime before you graduate. It doesn't have to come first. It doesn't have to be last. If you've already taken it, you're good to go. And then if I declared my minor as marketing, but I get into PES, will I be able to change it? Yes, absolutely. Just talk to your advisor about that, Alicia. But if you wanted to do a marketing minor, that is actually different, even though these are marketing electives. So you would just go tell your advisor, hey, these are the classes that I want to take. Can we just declare for the sales minor instead? Okay. And then Jenny, you have a question. So to complete the minor, do we have to take 3336, 3337 plus these 6 courses? No, it's not 6, it's 5. So you do have to take Marketing 3337. That one has to come first. Then you have to take the semester 1 and semester 2 classes. Key account selling is an optional additional elective that you can take. And then you could take Marketing 3336 at any point. If you are a Bauer student, you don't have to declare to take Marketing 3336 because it's part of your degree plan. If you're a non-Bauer student, you do have to declare to be able to take that class. And if you have other questions, myself and your advisor can talk you through those in more detail, because I know it's a little complex. And so key account selling is the one where only up to 20 students will be accepted. And for that class, that is the one that's Marketing 4375. So you do have to apply, and Evelyn will go into a little more detail about that class. So now I'm going to actually turn it over to James to talk about the classes. If you have other questions, drop them in the chat and I'll type up some answers for you.
All right, yeah, I'll go ahead and kind of touch on these a little bit. So as Yara mentioned, if you guys were able to pass that 3337 class with a B-, hopefully you guys did that, or are going to do that, then you go into these first 3 classes, which are Advanced Professional Selling, Customer Relationship Management, and Personal Branding. Advanced Professional Selling is basically sort of your professional selling class to the max. You learn everything there is about the spin selling cycle. You do role playing. The dollar sign here, Jenny, from your question earlier, those are actually your quotas. So for the classes where you see the dollar signs, those are the quotas for these classes. And basically those quotas are the grade for the class. It's almost like it's the big major grade. So if you aren't able to reach that quota, you aren't able to pass that class. And for Advanced Professional Selling, that quota is $250 to sponsor your jacket. when you go into PES, you get a nice nifty jacket. I don't know if you ever guys, show of hands, who's seen the jackets before? Has anybody seen them? Yeah, Ricky? Yeah, so you get these nifty jackets with the patch, everything makes you look all nice and cool. And you basically go find whoever you really aspire to be like in the professional world. Ask them to sponsor your jacket. If they do it, then you hit that quota and you have a cool mentor at the same time. So that was really cool about that class. Customer relationship management which is what I help Yara out with. I'm the right-hand man on that one. That's where if anybody's ever heard of the PES Open Golf Tournament, some of us have the polos here. Professor Webb is rocking the red polo as well. That is the big assignment, the sales assignment for the customer relationship management class. And it's just the students selling it. So that entire golf tournament that we do with over 400 players and upwards of $100,000, that's all sold by students, all by people like you. So that's where you really learn to cold call. You have you learn about the CRM software, which is really big for companies nowadays. They love seeing people who are able to use that. And you have a quota of $800 and 4 players. So not too bad. It's supposed to challenge you a little bit, stretch your limits, but nothing crazy. So that one's awesome. And finally, personal branding for this first semester is where it's taught by Professor Vanderveer Novak. And I saw some of you guys already have her, so you'd love it. She is amazing in this class. She's devoted all of her work so far to trying to perfect how she teaches about personal branding and really standing out in today's world, while also making sure that you're not standing out in a way that could potentially hurt your career or yourself, or it's just finding out what are my skills, where's the value I can bring to the world, what career do I want to go into, and you get to make a nifty video for the end assignment of the class, which is really cool assignment to do. And if you guys are really hoping to step up your personal brand, then this class is the one you'd want to look out for.
So once you get into your second semester, oh, Yara, did you want to say something first?
I was going to play the videos for the first.
Oh, go ahead, play them.
No, but I was like, oh, great. Now I need to unmute myself and I wasn't fast enough. Okay, perfect. So we're going to start with the PES Open. Feel free to give me a thumbs up or everything if you can't hear it, but this is everything James just said, so I want to give you guys a little more of a visual here.
So the PES Open is hosted by our sales students every semester. It is one of the largest charity golf tournaments in Houston.
So the golf tournament is very unique in the sense that there are 64 individuals who are selling and promoting the tournament to golfers and companies and businesses to either sponsor or participate through golf. And it's through our own personal pipelines in our personal life, as well as in industries that we want to go into. For example, I had hotels come out. It's my major, that's what I'm interested in.
This charity golf tournament is to raise money for a sales program for students who wants to be salesmen like me.
All of the proceeds go back to the program when it comes to the different events that we host, like our graduation and award ceremony, and overall it benefits the students academically. So our program requires our students to do real life selling, so they actually are doing monetary transactions, and it prepares them for the real world and make sure that if they go into a sales position or if they're out selling an idea to their boss or the company, they're prepared for that.
Basically with the tournament, the biggest thing about that is you get rejected. You get rejected countless times, but that teaches you the persistence and the resilience that you have to endure in order for any career. I mean, you're gonna get told no. It's just a matter of how you're able to recover and what you're able to do with that failure and turn it into a success. I mean, obviously we had a pretty big success here. It's a great turnout this year.
At first, when I started this program, I had trouble cold calling people because I was like, I should just email them first. But I saw like no results from that, so I just started picking up the phone and started calling people, and then people actually responded. Throughout this program, I learned the sales process and getting out your comfort zone. You can never be comfortable, because if you're comfortable, you're not really improving yourself. And I want to thank you everyone who came out and supported me and helped me secure all-time sales in the golf tournament. I really appreciate everything everyone did for me.
So I think the thing I most benefited from selling the golf tournament was following up and really making sure your clients are happy throughout the tournament. I made sure to be there right when they arrived, checked on them in the middle of the day, and then walked them to their cars at the end of the day. So making sure you keep that relationship throughout the entire, even after the sale, to make sure that they come back in the following year.
I think we're all competitive natured. I mean, from day one, we were all saying that we were gonna break records. And of course, you know, the first week or so, it's all talk, but we really got involved.
Well, we were the record-breaking class. So that was a very cool experience to kind of see that in the last week. And I think for the program to be able to give us such a real life experience, to be able to say to future employers, you know, I was part of this sales team that exceeded quota and broke records. And it wasn't just simply selling popcorn. Like, we had over 700 people at this golf tournament, and it was only sold by 64 students. So it's kind of like in a real world, you have your office and everyone comes together to sell your product or your service. And so seeing how different ideas and different people, how they function in their work and how in their sales strategy to come together in one big event with one common goal.
I think mainly it's just the drive. It's how bad you want it. I mean, do you really want it? And we wanted it, so we brought it.
Today was great. We actually came out, we enjoyed a beautiful day of golf. We were able to bring out clients. We were able to experience what students were experiencing in the past when we were going through the program. We really enjoyed supporting the program and talking to students, and also introducing ourselves and kind of giving them a snapshot of what we went through.
It's been a lot of fun. I love it. It's so much fun to come out here, see familiar faces, and watch people grow just as much as I grew in the program. So
this was actually my first tournament, but it definitely won't be my last.
So that is the PES Open, and that is your first semester in the program. Of course, along with the other things that James mentioned. So you do have to hit these sales quotas because they're an important part of your grade. And part of that means you do have to get a B- or above in all 3 classes to be invited to return for your second semester. So now Nalani's going to talk to you about how we kick off the second semester. I've got a video, and then Lamise will talk about DS.
Hello, it's me again. In your second semester, you'll spend a lot of time with myself, Lamise, and Evelyn. But it's a lot of fun because now you've kind of gotten the ropes of it. You've sold the golf tournament, and now you come back for sales management. In sales management, you spend a lot of time really learning about how to manage a different group of people, different personality types, what forecasting looks like, how to hire, train, and coach the right people, as well as performance management. But in this class, you get to sell the career fair. So if you've been to our career fair before, drop it in the chat for me. And if you're planning on coming out this year, also drop it in the chat for me. My students have been working really hard to make sure there are a lot of great companies out there that y'all want to secure jobs with, because we all know y'all are looking. So in that class, you'll be responsible for going out and networking with companies and actually selling a career fair virtual booth and or job posting. And then you're actually following up with them, making sure they're getting set up the day of, that they have everything they need at their booths, that all of their products, all their information is correct. And so you're just like their point of contact throughout the entire semester. It's a really fun class. It's a little bit of a different sell. It's a little bit of a longer process sell, but you get to know these companies really well and provide a really great value to them.
Hosting this career fair, I was excited about a lot of our companies. We actually have over 100 companies that are joining us for this career fair, and every single one of them is actually hiring. The
students that come to the sales career fair actually have very high chances of getting hired.
You have Fortune 100 companies here, you have startups, all types of different things. So students are just kind of here exploring different opportunities, learning about what all is out there, you know, handing out resumes, whether it's for internships, part-time or full-time opportunities. So it's really exciting for a lot of the students and for the employers.
I think the biggest thing is to really have a passion for what you do and have that come across.
Presenting themselves, getting dressed up, having a good first impression.
Being confident with your name, a firm handshake, having a resume that really speaks to your skills, an objective that is geared toward the position you're looking for.
Employers want you to at least have some understanding of what they do. I mean, it's a sign of respect, it's a sign of interest, and it's a sign that you're going to take the role seriously.
Since the career fair is actually a student-run event, all of our students have been working hard to actually sell all these companies on the value and why they need to come here and hire some of our students and a lot of others here within the UH campus.
The majority of what my team looks for is going to be sales individuals. It's typically why we come here, because of the program for excellence in selling and just what a great program it is. But I think overall when we come to these career fairs, what's going to be important for us is going to be drive, passion, excitement for really looking at your career and really wanting to have a career as opposed to just a job.
Don't pigeonhole yourself. You have no idea who you're going to meet, who you're going to come across. Every opportunity to meet someone is networking, another relationship to possibly opening another door.
Okay, so that is our career fair experience. Now I am going to let James share his screen so that we can take a look at the DS class with Lamise.
Yes. So, hi everyone again. So the other mandatory class within your second semester is digital selling. And so in this class, you'll be learning about how, the world of sales is changing now that we're in this digital environment. So a lot has actually changed from, the past semesters that we've taught this course. But you'll be learning new technologies on how to make your sales approaches more efficient. You'll learn how to identify buyer personas and use cadences. You'll be prospecting using social selling to sell high dollar products, which is our executive education offerings, to connect with people that you probably would never meet with in your day-to-day life. And one of the great opportunities that you can learn from within this class is that if you do pursue sales after you finish school, then more than likely you'll be doing the role that we do day in and day out within the class. And so your quota for that class is to identify 2 sales qualified leads that can help you, essentially sell our executive education offerings after you pass it along to the rest of your team. So again, a great learning opportunity now that we are in this unforeseeable future of digital sales. And yeah.
Great. So now really quickly, we'll talk through the 3 elective classes. So the first of which is the very exciting, very elite key account selling class. And like we've already mentioned, this is the top 20 students up to who get selected to join this class. So you'll see here really, really big dollar signs, and these are the $10,000 to $100,000 plus the students are responsible for to be able to hire, maintain, and get our corporate partners. So those partners that love to hire you guys, they are the ones who are going to be selected and screened and brought on by our students. So that class you can do as a second semester student or anytime between then and when you graduate PES, and it is by application only. And then whenever you go into that class, that's your first true team sale. So that means you need to live and die and breathe by your team. And so you've already heard us talk about how our best experiences are with the key account selling teams that we've had. And then you'll see sales for social impact. So now this class is also by application only. This class will only accept up to 10 students. Now there's not a sales quota specifically related to this class, but it is a project where you're almost serving as a consultant for a nonprofit. So Professor McAndrews and Evelyn teach that class, and you are divided up into teams, and you're essentially competing to figure out who can come up with the best strategy. You get access to your client, who's a nonprofit, more than likely in the Houston area. And this class is sponsored by 3M. So 3M gives us the money to be able to manage and host this class. And it's been really great to see the impact that our students are able to have on everything having to do with those businesses. So you build a marketing and sales plan for them. So Nalani has taken that class. Lamise, Evelyn, they all have really, really wonderful things to say about it. And it's been really transformative. And that class is only offered in the fall semester. And then there's selling financial services. So we're very familiar with the fact that there are many students who are studying finance or who want to go into the personal financial planning or VC world. And so you would take this class. It meets once a week on Wednesdays. And really, you get to learn how to like start your own business. James took that class. I think Ricky, didn't you take it as well? Yeah. So you are working, the professor for this class is a sales leader from State Farm who is really experienced. He kind of helps you figure out a plan to start your own agency. And you're divided up into teams. And in this class, you'll also read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So great feedback on this class, but ultimately it's to prepare you to take the licensing exams and to be able to follow that journey. So if you're in finance or interested in the finance world, then it's a really, really good fit for you.
Okay, unfortunately, Evelyn's Wi-Fi is a little bit spotty, so she got kicked off. However, we are a team. So let's talk about jobs and opportunities. Who is hoping to get a job? I know I saw a lot of people commenting that. Yes, yes, yes. The $1,000,000 question, because why else would you be here if you weren't? The best part about PES and one of the things that a lot of people in here is that 98% job placement rating. A lot of our students get a lot of internship opportunities prior. A lot of times they get multiple ones as well as jobs after. So going into what it takes to get a job in PES, we have 32 corporate partners that pay upwards of $10,000 to recruit from you. And we have a wonderful corporate relationships team that manages those relationships and helps you get a job. So as you're looking to get mentors, as you're looking at interviewing, you'll work really closely with them. These range for companies that are in like the technology industries, all the way to pharmaceuticals, to 3M, who kind of makes a little bit of everything. So statistically speaking, if you didn't know, you're never more than 3 to 5 feet away from a 3M product. Fun facts for you. Yes, I did intern with them. But our whole team and staff is there to support you. So in your first semester, come talk to them, let them know these are your goals, where you want to go. If you have different companies that you're looking for, they're going to help you get there. We're all going to help you get there. So let us know and keep talking to us about it throughout it. Ricky's going to show you talk to you about some of our different corporate partners so you can actually see all of them. And he'll talk to you about a couple of opportunities that he had.
Yeah, well, first off, Evelyn, would you like to add anything else to the opportunities and jobs?
Sure. Of course, my Wi-Fi went out the moment before I had to talk. So I'm joining from my phone. Hopefully you guys can see and hear me okay. I'm not sure what was covered already because I did join halfway through Nalani speaking, but at least from what I caught, she's absolutely right. We've got wonderful, wonderful partners that are all managed by our key account students. Now, the great thing about the students managing the partners is that the students really have the freedom to make this what they want, right? If there is a partner or a company rather, that's not a partner with us already, there's nothing stopping them from going to pursue that company and saying, hey, I want to build that connection. I want to show you what it is that we can offer. And sometimes that ends up to them landing a job there. So there's lots of great opportunities from the key account class and from our partnerships to make it truly make it what you want. With our partners, like I said, I'm not sure what was covered already, so I'll apologize ahead of time if this sounds redundant, but we, on the corporate relations team, there's 3 of us. We're a small but very, very mighty team. We work with our partners and really serve as that bridge between the partners and the students. So we will take the time to plan lots of events for every partner. We'll have them come into classes. We'll have them do roundtable events. We'll schedule interview days. In the past, pre-COVID, we would do offsite events. We would do ride-alongs, anything that you guys needed to get, not just build that connection, but maintain that relationship. So if it's something that you're interested in, that's just some of the opportunities that we have, both optional and some required events with our partners, just to get you in front of everybody. And I think the most important thing that I took away from being in those shoes of a student those 2-3 years ago was everyone really truly does deserve a seat at the table. One of our biggest partners is Mattress Firm. And I remember when they came into our class and I was like, I don't know that I can tell my mom that I'm going to go sell mattresses when I leave. But when they came in, I was so enamored by their culture that I actually went and applied and I did an internship with them. And it was not just great culture-wise, it was great money-wise. I remember there was one Saturday that I worked and I had only one sale that day, but I made over $400 just on commissions from that one sale. So there's tons of partners, and you'll see that that slide in just a second, or it's up right now. Sorry, you can't see it on my phone. There's tons of companies that are here, some who you may know, some who you may not. So I'll leave you with that. Everyone deserves a seat at the table, but we've got some great opportunities for you at tons of great companies.
Yeah, I guess, Ricky, would you like to go ahead and share a little about your experiences with the partners?
Yeah, so I wanted to speak on something Evelyn had mentioned where, you really have to make the most of your experience here. And that takes me back to one of the quotes that Professor Vanderveer Novak always said, which is no investment, no return. So we put all these 30 plus companies right in front of you, but you really have to put in the effort yourself to build that relationship, to go ahead, talk to their recruiters, talk to their sales leaders, make them know who you are and remember you, so that way they can see if you would stand out as a candidate towards them. But my experience, exactly a year ago when I joined PES, I could not talk to like a recruiter. I was someone who was like very socially anxious. And so before I joined PES, I'd never gone to a Bauer career fair. I had missed out actually on the very first roundtable of the semester because I didn't know what I was supposed to do or say or ask. And I was like nervous. I didn't want to like mess up and look dumb. So then fast forward to December, and I joined key accounts class, and along with Evelyn teaching the class and helping enable us to be just much more confident sellers and students, I was able to use everything that PES had taught me up until then to cultivate those relationships with our partners. And so with key accounts, what's so special about that class is that it is the only team quota, and I guess like team building class in that sense, where you and a team of 3 other people take on several of our partners. And so for my team, I actually ended up the semester with 5 internship offers, and 4 of those came from our partners, and those 4 are from like our team's accounts. So just being able to work with the people from Salesforce to Dell to Gartner, being able to build that relationship helped me be able to expedite that process of interviewing with them. And they already knew what I was about because I had been having business conversations with them, trying to sell them on why they should continue their partnership with PES. And now like I went from a whole year ago of like being absolutely scared to talk to a recruiter to having gotten those offers and now having an internship this upcoming summer with Palo Alto Networks. So they're one of our partners, and they are a cybersecurity company. And I can truly say like PES as a whole just changed my life and gave me this confidence that like I never knew I had. So now like I absolutely love interviewing and doing all like that LinkedIn networking and stuff. So if you ever have any questions about like that stuff, I'm more than happy to help you, as well as everybody else here, just because at the end of the day, we want to see everybody succeed.
Exactly. And Ricky is a prime example of somebody who's, like he mentioned, became this new person with interacting with the partners and companies, was able to find opportunities through that. And anybody could do that, really. Although Ricky is a special breed, you know, he's very unique and very talented, but anybody could do that. And really, you know, one opportunity to do that is, I think Nalani wants to tell you guys a little bit about that.
The career fair. If y'all haven't signed up already, sign up. I'm going to drop the link in here. Okay, it's bowersales.easyvirtualfair.com. We are having our virtual career fair this April 8th from 3 to 6 p.m. It will be virtual, but we do ask that you come dressed professional because we will have some one-on-one video chats with different partners and companies looking to hire you all. We'll have over 40 companies there. I can't tell you exactly how many because our students are still selling it. So if you get into PES, you'll be one of them as well. It's a great opportunity, one, to come out and get some internships and jobs. Two, start networking and building those. So you may not be graduating yet, but you will be graduating soon. So start building your pipeline and figuring out what companies are going to be the ones that you want to work with. And three, if you're looking to join PES, this is going to give you firsthand experience on something that you're going to be responsible for selling. A lot of the partners will be in attendance. So it's also a great way to start putting your face there now and really getting in front of them. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to email us at sei@bauer.uh.edu. And if you're having any issues signing up, we can help you. But it's going to be a lot of fun and we hope to see you all there. Oh, also you get extra credit for 3337. So if you didn't know, now you know.
All right. So first off, just before we get started on this slide, thank you guys once again for bearing with us. I know these Zoom University stuff can get pretty long, but does anybody have any overbearing questions so far that they just can't get off their mind or really want to ask?
I have one question.
Sure, go for it.
Do we get to play in the golf tournament by chance?
As students?
Yeah, as part of PES.
It depends what format it's going to be. Right now, it's an extended format to where students can play in it because it's not a one-day event and the students don't have to be working it necessarily.
Yeah.
But if it goes back to an in-person event, then it would be back to a one-day event or potentially, and students wouldn't be able to play in their first semester, but their second semester, they would be able to.
Awesome.
That can help answer that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so great question, Zach. I'll go ahead and move on with this slide. So did anybody, show of hands here, who knew that you could make some money in this program? Yeah, Alicia, nice. Emily, Alyssa, nice. Yeah, so you guys can make some serious scholarship money in this program. And at the end of the day, like, who doesn't want to make some extra money, right? So like, for instance, in 2019, we gave 150 students $250,000 in scholarships. So you have ample opportunities to get scholarships and anybody can do it in the program. It's not like you have to apply for them and get like specific, grants or go through financial aid or anything like that. It's a matter of if you perform. For some of them, it's based on your sales projects. So like those quotas that we saw earlier, if you go above and beyond that, you get a chance to be considered for a scholarship, right? So it's a direct relationship from your efforts and your achievement to your reward. Those scholarships are provided by the Gessners. So Andy and Barbara Gessner, if you ever hear them, they're amazing people. They help us with those scholarships. We can't thank them enough for it. And then the best part is if you pass this first semester, your first semester PES with a B- or above, you already get $1,000 just for passing the first semester. Like, that's it. So, and that's from, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like, we're technically, our total institute is called the Steven Stagner Sales Excellence Institute. Steven Stagner is the one that provides those, that helps us with those scholarships, and he's another amazing person. If you guys ever have the chance to read some of the stuff he did as a CEO of mattress firm, please do that. But yeah, you can make $1,000 just out of the first semester if you pass, and you can make way more than that if you do well in your sales projects. So we've had some people earn up to 2,000-3,000, maybe even more their first semester. Second semester, you can also win scholarships just as much if you do well in your sales projects. Of course, the single largest scholarship that we give is in your final semester in PES, whether that be your second or third semester. You could be considered for the most improved, which is $5,000. So if you are the most improved in PES, let's say you didn't do too hot your first semester, which can happen. You know, it's not the easiest thing. You might not do too hot, and then your second semester or third semester you kill it. You're absolutely the best in PES. You can be considered to be a part of that $5,000 scholarship. You know, you could win that, and that's, you know, it's a lot of money. Could go towards your school, or you know, whatever you choose to do with that scholarship money. So yeah, that's who here, show of hands, you know. Well, first off, if you didn't know that, now you do. And once you now know that, who here wants to make some money? That should be everybody. Come on, guys. Everybody should be raising their hand for that one. Yeah. All right.
Hi everyone, my name is Jolie Green. I am a second semester student as well as a key account manager in PES. My major is marketing and I'm also adding a minor in sales to that. I graduate this December, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience in PES. So like I said, I am a second semester student, so I applied last year. And then I started in August. Due to the circumstances, I decided to do it virtually. So I never was in Melcher to do any of these PES classes. So I took the first three, CRM, APS, and PB, all online through Zoom, with my amazing professors, Andrews, Vanderveer, and Herman. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit, I guess a little bit personal about me. When I first joined the program, similar to Ricky, I was super shy. I had no idea how to talk to recruiters, especially even like C-level executives, like what I'm doing right now. So I came in pretty unprepared, but also just really nervous because I didn't know what to expect in the program. And so I came in, but I was also coachable, right? So I came in and I was like, you know, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it, but I knew that I had the opportunity to lean on my professors and lean on my APMs and PMs and even Yara to help me to exceed throughout my first semester. So with APS and CRM specifically, those two classes do have a quota. And just so y'all know, I did not have any prior selling experience to that. So I was really new to all of this. But through those classes, I was able to work with the team. We are putting teams for CRM, so we were able to do that, and also lean on our team leaders to help me exceed, or not only meet, but also exceed my quota as well. Just to kind of backtrack a little bit, I guess I can talk about like why I joined PES, and there's like multiple reasons, so I'll make it pretty short. But I joined PES similar to what Evelyn said, which was to get a job because similar to James, I was in Bauer and I was taking the required classes I needed to graduate, but I didn't really have any sort of direction as to what I was doing. I was just taking it and I was like, hey, you know, like I'll just do this and then I'll graduate, you know, whatever. And so I heard about PES through Gen V, and then I took Marketing 3337 as my prereq, and then I heard about it again because I took Amy's class, and like I said, I applied and that's how I got in. I would say my overall experience with it being online, but also now being here and face to face has been really just, it's been honestly amazing. Like if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate it like a 12. It's been super amazing. And you have so many opportunities that are given to you through this program. As Ricky and Evelyn mentioned, especially with the opportunities with our 32 corporate partners, you do have the opportunity to talk to recruiters and talk to C-level executives and get that chance to network with them and potentially get an intern or even a full-time position. And that's actually how I ended up getting my internship with Dell EMC, which is super, super exciting for me. And I actually wanted to answer 2 questions that I saw in the chat really quickly. And so the first one was from Delisa, and she asked about biggest challenge in PES. And I would say, just from my experience, I would say my biggest challenge was getting over that fear of talking to people I didn't have any prior contact with. Like I said, you do have the opportunity to talk to C-level executives. You have the opportunity to talk to people in your territories, which is something you'll learn a little bit more later. But I think going through the program and having those people you can lean on to when it comes to cold calling and emailing really helps you to kind of get over that fear, especially if you go in super shy and nervous like me. And then the second question was from Emily, and she asked about how is it balancing courses. And so I will speak on my experience from last semester. I took 18 hours last semester, 3 of which were PES and the other 3 were just regular Bauer courses. And I was working full time as a private tutor. So I'm not gonna lie, it was really challenging. It was very time consuming, but it's definitely doable as long as you manage your time well. And so I would say that that's something that I think you can definitely do, because I know if I can do it, then you can do it too. And so I just want to reiterate to all of you guys that I know that this is a really, really great program. There's so many wonderful opportunities that you get from this program. And so I would definitely encourage you to apply. And then also, like, I'm here if you have any questions for me or anybody else, faculty and staff that's on the call as well. Like, we're all here to help you throughout this process. So definitely apply, definitely join, because I'm telling you, it's literally going to change your life. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Jolie. And yeah, can we get a round of applause for Jolie, guys? Yeah, so Jolie, like she kind of touched on with the virtual environment, everything. I mean, it's a little weird going into or thinking about doing some sort of, a special program, especially when there's a virtual environment. You're not really like sure if school is the right thing right now, or if you're on the fence about it. But really, that's what our main job, my job, Nalani's job, Lamise, and all the other APMs, Ricky, we're all here to make sure that you guys have the best experience possible, as possible, safely, and just to have some fun in the classes, as well as also help you grow in this kind of weird but opportunistic environment. So Jolie is a perfect example of that. Somebody who was able to go through that experience, and now she can say that, right? In like a job interview, she can say, hey, I've been through selling virtually, and maybe it wasn't great, but I mean, I learned a lot. I've grown personally from it and professionally, and now I'm able to talk about that and be able to share that with everybody. So thanks again, Jolie. And as she alluded to at the end there, applications are open. So if you liked what you heard today and you're like, hey, that's it kind of swayed me a little bit, or I'm thinking about doing that, definitely consider applying, or actually go apply if you want to. And these are going to be open until April 1st, Sunday, April 1st, April 11th. Excuse me. And please, if you want to apply, just go ahead and do it. If you're waiting for your advisor, or you're kind of on the fence about what it looks like as far as your degree, go talk to your advisor as soon as possible, because it's going to get packed towards the end of semester. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have experienced that before. And just talk to them, see if it's right for you, and apply. You don't have to wait until that Sunday. And that's the link you can go apply to. It's just the PES website. So screenshot that, or we can also post that in the chat, just so you guys can go visit that link and apply.
In the chat.
Sure, you did that. Awesome. Okay. So yeah. Was there anything else you guys wanted to add, Nalani, Jolie, Lamise?
James, actually, somebody asked when do they hear back if they got accepted. I think it's from Emily.
Yes. So usually we will do the interviews about a couple weeks after the applications are in, and you will find out. I think it is, Nalani. When do we find out about?
Usually the week or 2 right before school ends. So
Yeah.
it's like right around finals, you'll be finding out if you got into PES or not.
Yeah, so right around 3 weeks after the interview, like give or take. It just depends on how many interviews we have. It's different every semester what the applicants are like. So roughly 3 to 4 weeks to maybe like 2 to 3 weeks, let's say, after your applications and you've done your interview. So
Yep. So they said it does go by a rolling basis because it depends on how many applications we have. But generally, you can expect to hear back. For this semester, I'm going to put the date May 13th on it. Don't hold me to that because Yara's not here. I don't want to have that date, but around that time, mid-May.
Does anybody have any questions? If y'all do, y'all are more than welcome to hang back, ask us some questions, and we'll hang here and kind of answer them if y'all do.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank y'all
I
so
had a
much for
question.
coming, guys.
This off.
Yeah.
Hey, so I think Yara was saying something about that the classes for PS can either count towards your degree or the certification, right?
It can either count towards your degree or a minor. Either way, you get the certification.
Oh, okay. Either way, you get the certification, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Are classes offered in person or online for PES?
At the moment, they've been offered both online and in person. And then in the fall, we're not sure yet because we're kind of waiting to hear back from the university on what the standard's going to be. But we do want, our biggest goal is to make sure that everybody feels really comfortable in this atmosphere that we're in right now. So that's going to be our biggest goal moving forward. And we're kind of following the university's footsteps.
Great to hear.
Yeah.
Great question.
I do have a question. I'm sorry. Was someone in front of me?
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was thinking about minoring in finance as well. But I saw like somebody said like don't take finance and stats at the same time. So has anyone minored in finance and done PES at the same time? And if so, how did that work out? You know, what were the challenges? What were the good parts about that?
Yes. People have definitely done that. I think when people say don't take stats and finance at the same time, they just mean both of the classes while you're in PES. So like, I think one semester we actually had somebody do that. So they took in their second semester, they're in SM, they're in DS, they're in key accounts, they're in stats, and they're in finance. And it just ended up being way too much because stats and finance is a really hard classes on their own. And then key accounts is extremely time consuming. So I think that's what they mean, but you can definitely, like, we have a lot of finance majors. We do have a lot of students who also minor in opposite things. So like finance and stuff like that, 100% doable. They just mean don't stack all those classes together at the same time because then it would be hard to keep that time management. Does that help?
Yes, thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Okay.
Makes me feel better.
I think Abdullah, do you have a question? Or is your
Yes, I have a question. So, who would you say is the ideal person to be in PES? Because I'm very much an ambivert, and like right now I'm in a sourcing internship, and I have to kind of reach out to account managers and stuff. And every single time I pick up a phone to like give a call, it's a really scary experience. So that's definitely something that that I see like as a problem that I really need to improve in that aspect. So would you say PES is more for people who are really interested in sales and it's kind of easy for them, or do you think it's still something that people who are just trying to improve can kind of enroll in?
So that's a great question. Yeah, go ahead. No, Lamise, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it definitely varies. You know, I've seen people from both ends of the spectrum. Me, for myself, I didn't know too much about sales and I didn't have much sales experience going into it. But some people have, you know, years of sales experience coming into the program. So it really depends on what you are hoping to get out of it, in my opinion. You know, you get the professional skills, you get the personal development, you get the networking, and of course you get the sales skills. So it's not one specific mold of person. So it sounds like your experience would be perfect.
And it's like what Professor McAndrew says as well. You know, sales is everything, but like sales is everywhere, right? No matter what you're doing, you're gonna have to try and sell an idea or sell something. So, really, if sales, like as a job, isn't the end goal, it's still okay to go through this program and grow in the sales and your sales skills, just to be able to, you know, sell something like whenever you want to sell.
I actually have a question.
Sure.
So I'm a communications major and I need a minor. So if I did make it into PES, would I be a sales minor and that would cover my minor, or is it totally different? Like it's just the program that's separate from the minor, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can absolutely minor in PES. You would just have to take that one extra class at the end, the 3336. But then you could definitely count that as your minor for your communications degree. And we actually have a couple of students that are communications majors right now.
Thank you.
I had a question. How competitive is like the whole application process? And like what can we do to like better our application or make it more competitive, I guess?
You might take that one. So yeah, so I mean, it depends really on the class, on the applicant pool that we have. Usually I would say it's pretty competitive. We want to, we want students that are in pursuance of excellence, right? So we're looking for people that, you don't need a lot of experience per se, a lot of sales experience as well, but we do want you to be able to come into the interview and, be confident about maybe the experience that you have had, whether that's even just working a, regular retail job or being a cashier at HEB. There's ways that you can talk about those experiences and convince us that you're ready to learn, you're ready to jump in, right? Like Nalani mentioned earlier, we can teach you guys all about sales and all about, everything you can do about sales and the technical stuff, all that kind of jazz. But we can't teach you to be motivated. That's something that you have to be, have to have internally, and it comes from you. So having a good why, as we always like to say, is always a really good way to stand out in an interview. If you have a really good why for why you want to be in the program, it doesn't have to be to go into the sales, but as long as it's good and you can convince us that it's genuine and you really want to start learning about this stuff and you're ready to take on the challenge, then yeah, that's what we're looking for. I hope that kind of helped answer the question.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, of course. Great questions.
How many students are accepted into the program?
It could be up to 75 is the largest we'll take. But it just depends on the applicant pool. We will see.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
I have another question.
Go for it.
So whenever I applied, I had to do like a one-way interview. Is there going to be another interview like with an actual person, or was that my only interview?
Yeah, so it's going to be the video interviews. So that's a great question. It's going to go, once you apply, it's going to send you to a system where you are going to do 2 questions in a video interview format. They're pretty standard questions, nothing that's going to try and trick you or anything like that. It's just to see, get a basic understanding for us to see how you answer questions. How are you confident in answering these things about yourself and explaining why you want to be in PES. And then we go through the second round, which would be the, I guess, Zoom interviews, because we can't do in person, unfortunately, but it would be like a Zoom interview between you and, one of us or at an 8 p.m. And you'd be able to then talk a little bit and have a conversation with them and see if you get into PES. Okay, well, if anybody has any questions, any other questions, please feel free to ask. If not, you guys are free to go. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. Nalani, do you have anything to add? Anybody else have anything to add? All good? Okay. Thanks once again, guys. I mean, we know that it's really, I see somebody raise their hand. Do we have a question?
Yeah, I have a question though. I haven't seen you guys the video before, but I'm just go ahead to apply the first step, like a video interview, and I'm quite like not doing well on it. Like I thought it was practice at the very first time, and I thought, and after that I realized it just like only, I mean, the 1 times or 2 times the practice. So I submitted already. Is I mean, it's possible like like reapply it, or maybe waiting on the next semester?
So if I let me see if I got that correct. So you're saying for the video interviews you already tried to do them and you didn't
Yeah.
realize that they were okay. That's okay. We can actually probably have Yara, have you do another round of those video interviews. But once you get that email, so I'll let her know once you get that email. Just know that will be the first round of interviews.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right, that'd be it though. Thank you so much. You guys have a great evening.
You as well. Thanks for coming out.
I have one more question.
Sure.
If I have any questions that pop up later on, who can I contact?
That's a great question, actually. I can go ahead and throw my email. Nalani, what were you gonna say?
You go.
I'll throw my email in the chat, just in case any of you guys have any questions that pop up later, or you just have in general. Okay, so yeah, you guys can copy and paste that email or write it down somewhere. It's a little long, so that's jclancy@programforexcellenceandselling.com. So write that down, save that one if you guys ever have any questions, and feel free to reach out, please, by all means.
Yeah, I have one more question. So, James, you said that the interview would be virtual, because I remember seeing on the application page that the interview would be in person. So I just wanted to confirm whether it was face-to-face or virtual.
It will be virtual for this semester. Great question.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Seeing a lot of people wanting to apply. That's awesome. Can't wait to see y'all's applications and hopefully get these interviews.
So do y'all interview everybody that applies, or do y'all only interview do y'all kind of narrow it down for the second interview?
Yeah, so that first round is going to be somewhat of like a screening in a way. So we'll take a look at those video interviews and see who will be moving on to the next round. And but I mean, if you get 2 shots at it, 2 chances at the questions. So when you record it, so if you record them well, then you'll certainly, I mean, it shouldn't be too tough. Hopefully it's not. And if anything goes wrong, we can always resend those. If you have internet connection problems, you can always resend those videos, reopen those up for you, and then you can try again.